As we've seen with the films, actually running a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World is quite a dangerous proposition, and so you need to try and succeed where others have failed before you.
The player starts off with a few key buildings on an island which are going to teach you the basic tools of how to build and maintain your park. And from that you're going to earn your first contract, which brings you into your first few decisions about which division you want to side with.
In the game there are 3 divisions vying for your attention.
For security, it's operations, safety. For science, genetic engineering, animal welfare. And for entertainment, it's all about the guests, it's all about the show and the bottom line.
Once you've built these beautiful enclosures, it's up to you to maintain them as well. You'll be unlocking new things to put into the enclosures. You can upgrade the fences, you can build all sorts of new things inside them.
The game is a management game, but you can also then take direct control of some of the teams in your park and get up close and personal with these dinosaurs yourself.
Taking control of those allow you to directly deal with threats or issues in the park. So the ranger vehicle can be driven to medicate dinosaurs using the dart gun. You can take control of the ACU helicopter, fly over your park, which looks awesome, and tranquilise escaped dinosaurs. Basically you get to be the hero and save the day whilst also being the park manager. Who doesn't want that?
Management in Jurassic World Evolution it's the core pillar, making sure your guests are safe, making sure your dinosaurs are looked after, keeping an eye on the finances, doing all the research, doing all the the extraction, and of course this is across five different islands as well.
As you start moving through the game and you start taking control of the park and you start thinking that you've dealt with your dinosaurs and you've dealt with your guests, the islands themselves are going to start throwing storms at you, and they're going to start damaging the park, and they're going to start getting dinosaurs to leave their enclosures, and it's going to cause you all kinds of trouble. So it's really up to the player to make sure they've got the correct things in place to deal with an event like that.
Each of the islands that you manage within the 5 deaths has their own island rating, and that's the key progression sort of metric for progressing through the islands. However, that challenge does increase as you go through it, so it's not as easy to 3-star Muerta as it is Matanceros. You also introduce to new challenges, and some of those challenges aren't necessarily within your control as well, so you can experience sabotage from a disgruntled employee, that kind of challenge.
So as the player progresses through the game, as they progress through these islands, they're going to get access to new research, new buildings, bigger and scarier dinosaurs, and they can use those on the previous islands that they've been on.
We're a game about choice and player decisions, and the choices you make ultimately will determine the Jurassic World you create.
We're going to offer the players a sandbox mode so that they're able to take control of the Isla Nublar, that we should recognise from the films. It's a big open space and a blank canvas for them to build whatever park they like.
Cash isn't a restriction, but we do encourage you to play through the career mode as well, as that unlocks the dinosaurs and buildings and all the other aspects that you can then use in the sandbox in Isla Nublar.
A number of players have been asking us, are we going to be doing anything to coincide with the film Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? Like I said, that we are going to be doing a free update with content from the film inside Jurassic World Evolution. We're really excited to see players get their hands on it.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Gamers Guild. Today we're talking DLC and Isla Nublar. So recently IGN released a 4-minute clip, as you've just seen, where they discussed the whole kind of concept of management in the game, how to do the management, the features of the management, and then went on to mention the sandbox mode, which we thought was coming with Isla Nublar, and hopefully the ability, which they didn't mention, to recreate the 93 Jurassic Park. So I'd say the standout shock from that clip was when they mentioned, because we knew sandbox would be a thing, we knew there'd be a Fallen Kingdom DLC, but I'd say definitely one of the standout shocks was when they mentioned that disgruntled employees can sabotage your park. And not only that being a massive frustration for the player, well, not a massive, because you didn't do anything wrong and it's not really your fault, but it's going to be one of those things of it'll open all the gates, or like some gates in your park, or like break some electricity stuff. Like, basically sabotage. That's what I'm trying to describe here. But yeah, they'll like open your gates and stuff like that. And that would be a bit frustrating as a player. But I honestly did not think that would be something. I don't think anyone thought that would be a thing that would be in this game. Is not through no fault of your own, unless there's ways to please your staff, which there may be or may not in the game. We'll have to find out. That probably won't be announced. Or it probably won't be announced full stop. That will just be something we get at release. Is keeping your staff happy. Or maybe if you are pleasing one of the free contract teams more. So let's say you're focusing on entertainment and science. The security workers on the park might get a bit annoyed and be like, that's probably what they're doing it as. Is if you have massive differences between the free contract tiers. And yeah, that would be quite cool, I'd say, because it means you really do. It means you really can't prioritize on just one aspect of the contract. You really have to try to make an even spread. Because I reckon I'd be surprised if they did it any other way. But if they're not doing it the way as I just mentioned, that's how they should do it. Now, I'd say one of the other main, not shocks, but something that's good from that is that they mentioned a free update for Fallen Kingdom. One of my working theories would have to pay like $5 for it, or whatever currency you use. I doubt 5 yen. That would be a bit disproportionate. But I was thinking it wouldn't be free. I was thinking we'd have to pay a smaller amount for a Fallen Kingdom aspect to the game. But if it's free, I'm more than happy with that. And currently it's rumoured that about 5 or so dinosaurs may be included in that update, which I'll go through in another video, because I've just put something on the Jurassic World Evolution forums, and I'm just waiting for a bunch of responses, and I'm going to do a video on like the main responses that I won't mention in this video. So we got a good look at the storms, and as you can see, a tornado tearing through your park, and then we get a shot of, I think it was a Triceratops, walking through the main village area of the park, with everybody gone. It's quite a foreshadowing of your game experience. So that's something you got to look out for. And they mentioned you can buy better defences and stuff like that. So that should be a really interesting aspect to the game, because from what I've got from this, you should literally just focus on security as much as possible. Like, try to invest in security, try to invest in better fences, better gates, basically anything to do with keeping your dinosaurs in and storm defences. Go for that. That's my main advice from what we've been told from this clip, because they mentioned quite a bit about the whole security aspect, especially referring to this. So I'm definitely under the new working impression, get as much security as possible. Now, with regards to the sandbox mode, it's going to be, so once you unlock something outside of sandbox mode on Isla Nublar, it will then become available in sandbox mode in Isla Nublar. So you can't just go to Isla Nublar, unlock every single dinosaur and all the stuff, like, just as soon as you start. Or however you unlock Isla Nublar, because we're not, I don't know, they didn't mention you actually need 5-star every island to get to Isla Nublar. But I hope that's how they still do it, because I really do want more of an achievement to it. But surely, if you've 5-starred every island, you're going to have most of the resources and most of the facilities. So it kind of ruins the whole concept of you have to unlock everything outside of career mode to use it in sandbox. But anyway, focusing on the career mode, that's how they should do it. They shouldn't do it in sandbox mode, where right from the start you can just hop in and get every dinosaur. It should just literally be, you hop on, play, and try to sweat the game as much as possible, build your park best you can get, try to get all the facilities yourself before you can use them for free. And that's, in my opinion, they've aced that. That's how it should be. It just depends at which point you can unlock Isla Nublar, because they might add it in where it's too late by that point. Now, another thing I took from that was ascending difficulty, which, I mean, let's be honest, we kind of assumed would be a thing. It wouldn't be as easy to level up on every single island. But so as you progress through each island, it actually becomes harder to reach 3 stars and therefore unlock the next island. Which, yeah, is pretty obvious. But not just in the concept of gameplay difficulty, the actual, you need more stuff and better stuff and more dinosaurs, the better dinosaurs, not just a bunch of Suchomimus, or whatever it was in the last video that I mentioned. I can't remember what you started, I think it was a Suchomimus. Basically, you can't just have loads of them and go, yep, 3-star. It has to be good variation. You need the facilities, you need kind of the whole structure of the island. You need it well maintained, and yeah, it's just going to get more difficult as you progress through the game. So again, that makes it even harder to get to sandbox mode, which links back to my last point of if they make it where you need 5-star every island, it's going to be near enough impossible to not have anything like accessible in sandbox mode, because you're probably going to have unlocked everything by that point. Now, sorry to have quite an abrupt and unnatural end to this video. I've just realised I was listening back to the video. I can't shoehorn an ending in here, so I've left a few seconds gap, and I'm just going to go to a smooth entrance. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Gamers Guild. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and it would be ever so delightful if you were to subscribe to this exemplary channel. Was that soft enough, or do you want me to go? I was about to say something that would have got me not good, a lot of dislikes. So I'm just gonna stop myself before I say anything else. Just go watch some more of my content. Thanks. I've got a video on what DLCs I want to see. You can watch that one, or alternatively, my theories of what would be on Isla Nublar, just so you can see how wrong I was and prove what I don't know. But yeah, guys, goodbye. Go on, click off.